When are you going to send Adam to Istanbul or wherever it is? To Saudi Arabia. Turkey.
Yeah.
Wherever all the fighters are going, wherever all the coaches are going.
Oh, so gross. I don't think I could deal with those scabs. The
Just
scabby.
for a minute. It's just for a minute.
I would just think about it every time. And it's never going to look natural. Like,
I think it looks great.
I'm the type of girl who likes a buzz cut on my white boys.
Well, now he can actually have a buzz cut.
It would look horrible with the implants. No, it would look like little dots. You would see it. It would look like baby doll hair.
No.
You know how you shave the hair on a baby doll and you see every little spot where the hair comes out?
Believe it or not, I've never shaved the head of a baby doll.
What?
No.
Have you not seen Toy Story?
I mean, that's Pixar. That's like...
Yeah, well, you know, the what was the guy? The Sid guy who...
Oh, yeah.
Shaved the baby dolls and it had the same hair.
And it had the one eyelash.
Or Rugrats. Yeah, exactly. Or Rugrats. They had the little doll. What was
Cynthia
it? Angelica?
Doll.
Oh, yeah, Cynthia. The
It
Cynthia
was
doll.
Angelica's.
Yeah, and she had the little stubble. That's what it would look like.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what that shit looks like.
Well,
That's what Adams look like if he got the turkey.
I feel like it would look great. I wanted to see him.
No. He looks great bald. I love it. Men, you don't need to do that to yourself.
Certain men do. Certain men need some help with their heads.
You're gonna give so many guys complexes.
Like they don't give me a complex.
Oh.
So there.
With your pea head. Hey! Guys love a girl with a tiny head. Means they have a smaller mouth. And we're back.
We were just talking about Charles Johnson's fight. Very impressive.
Yeah, it was super impressive.
He's one of those guys like Nate the Train that needs to get a little fucked up first to have a big comeback.
He just doesn't know if he's actually in a fight yet or not.
Yeah, he needs to feel it.
Yeah. But I think what's actually happening is he likes to take a lot of reads from his opponents, and sometimes he takes the reads for so long that he never kicks it into that next gear. So this time he was able to kick it real good. He kicked it hard. He kicked it with his fist.
With a huge back uppercut.
Huge scooping back uppercut.
From his back pocket.
Yeah. We're watching this anime right now, me and Adam, and I feel like it's improving my fighting. But
really?
Yeah. Hajime no Ippo is the anime I'm talking about. It's like a boxing anime, and they really exaggerate very normal techniques. Like they'll go, oh, he changed to southpaw. And everyone's like, oh my God. And they'll make a big deal about it. And they'll break down all the reasons that he did it. And they'll bring up some boxer that did it in the past and was really good with it. But I feel like it's just emphasizing some of the basics. And one of the guys that the main character is fighting throws an uppercut where he literally scoops the ground and really turns his entire body into it. And I swear that was the uppercut that Charles Johnson threw in this fight. His entire body turned. He started with a couple of jabs, really was able to get that bow and arrow kind of position going, and then turned his entire upper shoulder from back here to forward here, and that crack was so clean and nasty.
That was beautiful.
It was worth the wait, worth all the reads.
It was worth 2 rounds of stress.
Oh God, his poor corner. Every fight he does this.
He does.
Every fight. I think there was maybe one fight where I was like, okay, he kicked it into gear in the second round. This is nice.
He made us wait on this one.
What's that?
I said he made us wait on this one.
Yeah, he did.
He took his time.
This was not that time, but it was a beautiful finish. I'm really excited to see what Charles Johnson ends up doing in the flyweight division.
He keeps impressing me every single outing. I think he gets better and better, and I think he has a great team as well. I love watching Coach Joaquin. Do his thing. I got a chance to work with him in Atlantic City.
Yeah,
and I just think he's great, and I think what he's doing to his fighters is great.
Yeah, no, it was really cool to watch. Excuse me. we were going to actually drop some fight news as well.
Oh, yes.
So everybody's been waiting for me to say who I'm fighting. Not everybody, but
She's just been dying to tell you.
there's a couple people on the page commenting, who is it? So thank you for caring.
All two of you.
I'll make you wait a little bit longer. Okay, I'll tell you. I'm going to be fighting on August 24th in the Apex again, but it's going to be against Tabitha Ricci.
Yeah.
Baby Shark. Yeah.
Do.
Yeah. So that'll be a fun one. She's good. She's strong. We actually trained together a few years ago, and yeah, I'm excited about this one. Unfortunately, it's not a step up, but at least it's I don't know. It can be a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I don't think it's a back step.
No, it's not a back step. It's a side step, but it's still a really tough fighter who I'm gonna learn a lot from, especially if I whoop her ass, which is the plan. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. As soon as I got the name, I started game playing immediately. It's one of those ones that you can really sink your teeth into.
I smell the chum in the waters.
Oh, she's gonna have to watch her jaw.
Just get her to take that bait.
Yeah, good. Look, we didn't even practice this. We didn't write shark puns down at all. We just went with it. Good one.
Just whipped us into a frenzy. I could do this all day.
My game plan is to punch her right in the nose. I hear that's the best way.
Don't forget a hook to the gills.
Hey, okay. Yeah, little fish hook. Oh my God, why is this so easy?
I'm a big fan of Shark Week.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't be Shark Week when I fight her.
Oh.
Gotta make weight, you know?
Stop.
Oh, man. Well, great. I think we're done. Let's pack it up. 2 minutes of shark puns.
You're welcome.
I do already have my walkout song picked out.
Nice.
Yeah. You know that Killer Whale song?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be that.
He's dope.
Yeah.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah. He's so
He's
stupid.
a fellow Aquarian. I love him.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought he was a Pisces.
No, I thought he was an Aquarius.
I'm Pisces, but I'd rather be a killer whale.
Maybe it's just for the song.
Maybe, because I'm a Capricorn. But that wouldn't make sense.
No.
I'm a Capricorn, but I'd rather be a orca. Orca corn. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. I'm excited about it. Yeah, you should come.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't get invited to Angela's fights anymore.
Yes, you do. I didn't think you needed an invite. You came to.
You know I like to be invited to things.
Well, I just said you should come.
Oh, okay. I'll put it in writing.
Comment.
A formal invitation.
Comment to Jess that she should come to my fight, and maybe she'll show up if she's not too busy.
Maybe I'll be getting ready for my fight.
That's true. Maybe in the Apex, that when is that thing? That's September.
That's September. Yeah.
Okay, but they do have invitational, or is it called invitational? Yeah, the UFC thing that they do at the Apex.
It's not that. It's supposed to be at the Apex, but it's a different grappling show.
Maybe I'll hit up my girl Claudia. My new bestie. Yeah.
Out with the old and with the new.
Yeah. See if she could get you a grappling match on that day. Because I actually got to watch one of my teammates at Alliance, Peter BJJ, the guy who hits all the flying arm bars. And he's all crazy. He comes out with the skateboard. I got to watch him compete a few days before I fought in the Apex. And it was real nice just to see him go out there and put on a show. And whenever you see a friend compete, it always gets you ready to do it. You're like, yeah, we're a team, we're warriors together. We're all gonna fuck up the world together. So yeah, I'll hit up my girl.
Let me know what your girl says.
Hey, friend. Hey, friend. You know my friend Jess. Let me know. But yeah. So, any other fights on UFC Denver? Oh, and then next week, I didn't realize this was happening back to back. You get 2 female headliners back to back. You had Rose and Cortez this week, and then next week we have Lemos versus Jandiroba.
Oh yeah, dude, I haven't even. Who is on that card? Let's check that really fast. Dang. And then after that, we have UFC 304.
Ooh.
Finally, I feel like that fight has been talked about for so long. I feel like we've been talking about it for a year, and 304 is finally going to happen with Leon Edwards. And, and Bilal. I feel like this, like.
Why has it taken so long?
I know. Normally, we don't hear about the fight until a week before, as we see with Jandiroba and Lemos.
It's like, oh, that's the main event?
Oh, shoot. Okay, cool.
Okay. All right, cool. Let's go equality.
Let's see. And where's this one? This one's at the Apex?
This one is, yes. Yeah. Lemos versus Jandiroba will be at the Apex. Both are coming in kind of similar rankings. And then also on the card, you have Brad Tavares versus Young Park.
That's the co-main?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
You have wait, is that
Brian Kelleher and Cody Gibson should be a good one. As Miranda Maverick and Dion Barbosa. That should be a fun one.
Yeah, another one of Jenna's victims, our friend Jenna Bishop.
Aren't they all?
The one blemish on her record, or maybe 2, I forget. Yeah, it should be a fun fight. You have Usman brother also
opening up the card versus Thomas Peterson.
So Maverick was supposed to be fighting Tracy Cortez, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then so this is a short notice for Gian Barboza then, which is interesting. I wonder how she's going to deal with that. Usually it's fine. I don't think she gets huge in between fights, even though she does look like one of the bigger flyweights in, in the division. Brian Kelleher is another one that I like to watch fight. He's been in there a bunch of times, but he's always trying to put on a show, always getting in people's faces. Oh, and Do Hoi Choi, Korean Superboy, is fighting Bill Algeo.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, I haven't seen him fight in a long time.
I know.
Where has he been? Has he been fighting?
I don't know. I don't think so. He took a huge break. I'm not sure if he had to do that military thing that
February 5th, 2023. I feel like it's been longer. I feel like the last time I saw him was when he fought like Jeremy.
Yeah, and that
didn't go well.
That was bad for him.
I would have taken a long time to recover from that too.
I mean, a lot of people have to take a long time to recover from that. Remember what happened with what's his name? What is his name? Emmett.
Oh, Josh Emmett.
Yeah. He took a lot of time off because he had to recover from what Jeremy did to him. So yeah, he ended up getting TKO'd by Jeremy Stevens, and a year later he lost a fight to Charles Jourdain. Then he didn't fight for 4 years. Probably, COVID had something to do with it. But then he came back and drew against Kyle Nelson. But yeah, I'm wondering if he had to do that military thing that that Korean Zombie had to do. That took him out of fighting for about 4 years. Everyone's really sad because he was right in his prime. He had won a few fights, and everyone's excited to see what happened next. And then he was just like, sorry, government duty calls.
Well, I'm actually really excited, even though I'm just finding out about this fight. Amanda Lemos and Virna Jandiroba. I think I'm going with Jandiroba on this one.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, just because I don't know, Lemos, if she has distance and she can strike, she's good. But Jandiroba just pushes that takedown so well, with a lot of pressure. So I think that she'll be able to grind her out, get her down.
Yeah, and she has a chin on her. She's able to absorb the damage that it takes to get into that takedown range. And then she goes for weird takedowns too. Like when I fought her, she went for that like drop down, roll over, grab your leg, kind of like a half guard sweep, but from standing. You know, yeah, it's such a weird one. But she has all those old school jiu-jitsu moves that she still does to this day, and a lot of people aren't ready for that because they haven't been grappling as long as her. They haven't seen all those tricks. I think with Lemos's fight against Dern too, you could see that if Dern was a little more patient, she probably would have been able to secure those positions that she was able to get against Lemos once it went to the ground. And if anything Virna is, she's patient. She'll get on top of you and she'll clamp down, hold you, restrain you, use every inch of her energy. I still don't know how I blew out her knee, but it's probably because she was squeezing so hard while I was trying to move that she blew her own knee out.
It was probably on the way out before the fight.
Yeah.
To be fair, but yes, that is a definite possibility.
yeah. I think that last little string of a ligament that was holding on got blown when there was the struggle, because she's so tight with her positioning. She'll get on top of you and she'll just try to be as heavy as possible and wait for you to make a mistake before she attacks. And that's one thing that Lemos does on the ground. She makes mistakes.
Yeah, she kind of explodes out of positions. She kind of rushes things, and Jandiroba has a lot of patience, as you were saying, whereas Dern is a little bit more aggressive and vigorous with her submission attempts or her position attempts.
Yeah.
So I definitely leaning towards Jandiroba. I think that she'll be able to get Lemos down, bide her time, and then like pick that opportune moment for the submission and capitalize.
Yeah, but then on the other side, Jandiroba is very hittable. She's
very hittable.
Super hittable, especially if she can't get you down.
Yeah.
And I know Lemos has been working on her ground. She has great reactions in the clinch, which is where Virna gets a lot of her takedowns. So there's a good chance that she'll be able to keep it standing. And if that's the case, it's going to suck for Virna.
It could. I mean, Virna's got striking, but she's definitely more of a grappler.
Yeah, her striking is more striking is more striking.
It's more to set up her grappling than anything. Although I've seen improvement in her striking and in her all-around MMA game. I definitely do give the edge in the striking department to Lemos.
Yeah, she reminds me of Rani Yaya, the way she's just throwing wild stuff. I remember there was one fight where she could not stop spinning. She looked like what's the Zangief from Street Fighter, just every 5 seconds spinning back fists, and they were slow and they had no chance of connecting, but she stuck with it, and then eventually she got the takedown. That's all it was.
When you learn a new trick, you get really excited about it, and sometimes it's like you're like really impressionable in fight camp or like right before you're about to fight. If like you put something into somebody's mind that it'll work, like sometimes that just becomes their default for some weird reason. It just happens that way sometimes. So I feel like that's what happened. Like at one time she hit it in training, or she hit it on the mitts a lot, and it just became what she was going to do for that fight.
It was the game plan. The game plan was to hit her with the spinner. They didn't expect her to throw 5 in a row, but she's just a good soldier and she's following orders. That's my theory, at least.
Somebody had the controllers on her and it got stuck, or they just kept repeating.
Kept hitting that button. Eventually, you're going to land. But I'm not too sure who I'm leaning towards this, just because Lemos did such a good job of keeping it standing with the Dern fight. So, yeah, this one's a toss-up. I feel like a lot of the strawweight fights at the top at the top, like the mountain of straw weights are going to be plus and minus 100 something because they're just so evenly matched. And then so much weird stuff happens too in strawweight fights where someone outperforms the way you expect them from their past performances or underperforms. So yeah, this one's gonna be a toss-up for me. It should be fun. Let's go strawweights. Let's see who wins. Fuck both of you.
Well, speaking of winning and odds and betting and stuff like that, I'm very excited to make you a little cocktail.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Do you have the ingredients?
I don't. It doesn't have to be right now.
Okay. Ooh, maybe we could save it for our 304 preview. And then hopefully we'll get some predictions in that I will win for next time.
It's an exchange, you know. It's the ebbs and flows.
It's fine. I can't wait.
It was bound to be your turn eventually.
I can't wait to see your cocktail skills, your bartender skills.
As I told you before, I used to bartend in a bikini, but I bartended.
Hey, so did I.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey.
Gotta pay the bills when you're a broke MMA fighter. I was a broke Muay Thai fighter at the time, but
I was a broke MMA fighter. It sounds like the start of a novel, one of those what are those graphic novel, comic book kind of things?
Yes. The origin story?
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, what graphic novel starts with a bikini bar?
That's how we became
the origin story. Yes, we both met at a bikini bar.
Yes, joined forces.
They tried to steal money from the till. We had to fight them off.
And now we're on the run. Had to become assassins.
Ooh, yeah.
To not get assassinated.
Yeah, we didn't know each other could fight until that moment. And then we looked at each other and we went...
And we became best friends.
Yeah. I like that story. We should turn it into a little novella.
We'll have to have Adam illustrate it.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be cute. Yeah, so anything else you excited about this week in MMA news world?
No.
Nah. MMA news is boring.
I feel like last week was when it all happened. I mean, we had the Diaz Masvidal.
Yeah.
We had Ryan Garcia, going to rehab. We just had like all these things happen, and I feel like we're just in a bit of a lull.
We did. I mean, we did have something still all the eyes away from the prelims. UFC, the horrific shooting event.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We had that too.
I was tweeting about gardeners. It's like, hey, anyone in San Diego have a good gardener? And the only response I got was, yeah, you should look at the news. No one's on Twitter talking about it. You're not going to get any responses.
Maybe wait till Monday.
Yeah. And then I was just like, oh, well, goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of response from the MMA world. Trump is kind of a mascot of the UFC at this point.
Yeah.
And he made sure he had a moment to throw up the Black Power fist. And
white people can use the fist too. So can Asian people, so can Mexicans.
Yeah, he threw that thing up.
We all get to use the fist sometimes.
He threw that fist up. He said, fight. And he said, where's my shoes? Give me my shoes.
Did he really? Did he really?
I'm like, I don't know if that was just like somebody made some kind of deep fake video or something. But after when they were trying to get him off right before he did the pose, he goes, where's my shoes? Where's my shoes? Give me my shoes.
It's an interesting thing to be focused on after you're just shot at.
Hey, if he has like
maybe they're expensive ones.
Yeah, if he has like the what is it, Stacey Adams? Stay on point like Stacey Adams.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I don't know. Those are only expensive shoes I could think of. Or maybe he had his inserts in his man heels. Can't be seen without your man heels on. Not as a present. Present has to be tall. as tall as possible. So yeah.
Well, yeah. So that happened.
That happened, and I don't think anyone watched UFC this week. The media room didn't even do like the post-fight breakdown with anyone but Rose.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so there were no other, you know how they go into the room and they sit down and they talk on a microphone. I don't think anyone else did that. They had their other, like the media row ones where they're standing up and they're talking to the guys and like for UFC.com or something. But when it comes to like that room that you sit in and there's the long desk with the Monster Energy water on there, no one, it was only Rose.
Why? Where did they go?
I think they went to cover the other more important news stories.
That's not their job.
Maybe they have side jobs.
I was gonna say maybe they just do what is it called? Maybe they just like outsource for MMA. What's that word? Maybe they're just contracted.
Yeah. Like maybe MMA is their side gig, and they have to pay the bills with
real news,
actual news.
News,
real actual news that happens outside of MMA. Not that we care about. I don't really follow real news. I like to live in my bubble where everything is peachy keen. You can just fight people for money and there's no other issues.
Yes. That's how I like to live my life.
Yeah, don't bother me with world news.
Just depressing and sad.
Oh my God, it's so sad.
Yeah.
So sad. Oh, there was the guy who had that fight with the illegal elbow.
Oh, Brondage?
What is his name? Yeah, he fought Brondage, and he had
Hassan. What is his name?
Yeah, Alec Hassan. I don't want to say it wrong, but he had like a really emphatic speech this week before he fought. And he was just talking about the thing that Duplessis said.
Oh.
Speaking of black power versus white power, fist.
Continue.
Yeah, so he was expressing that he was really upset with the words that Dricus chose. He said that he would be the first real African champion, and saying that the other champions at the time, Francis Ngannou, Israel Adesanya, and Kamaru Usman, were not real African champions, was a slap in the face.
So his argument is that because they are no longer living in Africa, that they are not African champions.
They are
Even
not
though
real African.
They were born and bred there, and they just chose to move and train in other places for other opportunities.
Right.
But they don't count, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
That's a stretch, and I think that's probably going to be upsetting for other Africans to hear. So I can understand the outrage and the frustration and the want and desire to speak out about it.
Yeah, and he had like a really emotional speech when he was talking about it. You could tell that it really upset him. He was saying that he went on to say if he could change his situation by cutting off his leg because he was so poor in Africa. Like if a poor African can change their situation by cutting off their leg, he would do it because then he wouldn't have to beg for food from his friends. He wouldn't have to be hungry. He would be able to, just live a normal life, the life that a lot of us take for granted. So for Duplessis to grow up comfortable and to not need to go outside of his country in order to get the resources, or outside of his continent in order to get the resources that he needed to be a good fighter, he thought that was a slap in the face to all Africans, especially the ones that grew up poor. And he never said anything about black or white, but he said if you grew up poor and you were able to better your situation by going somewhere else, then by all means, any African understands, do that. And I think that just using the word real African is always gonna ruffle people's feathers. And if Dricus was a black African saying that,
I think it would be just as offensive.
it
honestly.
would be just as maybe not just as offensive, but it would still be
offend.
dramatic. And just the fact that he is a bright white South African just adds even more of a light bulb, a spotlight rather, to the whole situation.
Yeah.
And like, look at what Francis Ngannou has done for his country since leaving. You know, like, he comes back, he'll be digging water lines, you know, like doing all sorts of things for the community when he comes back. And it's like, how can you say that that man isn't a real African?
Yeah.
After the struggle that he's had, after his whole story, and then still giving back to the community. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting that he felt the need to put all that on the table. And then the comments were kind of what you expect from MMA fans.
Were they trolly?
Very trolly.
Trollerific?
Very trolly. They're like,
of course.
They're like, he's the real African champ, though. And that's it.
I mean, he's an African champ. We can't take that away from him, can we?
Yeah, that's not the discrepancy.
Yeah.
The discrepancy is
real. The only.
He's the only real African champion that has ever existed.
It's very
in the UFC.
It's very provocative.
Mm-hmm.
It gets people talking.
Mm-hmm.
He did a good job of promoting it in that way and creating controversy, and there will be never-ending comments and buzz about it.
Yeah, and I feel like, in a way, Adesanya is probably happy that this happened, because now he has a reason to get up. You know, he has that. He needs the anime villain. He needs that whole build up, the story of the fighter. When he doesn't have that story, he performs in the way he did against Sean Strickland.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it felt like too easy almost. And then he really underestimated him and got beat up.
Yeah, well, I mean, and some would say that he was a little bit burnt out from fighting so frequently. So I hope that whatever it was, I hope that he's found his motivation. I hope the time off. I hope the storyline. I hope everything is motivating, and I hope that we get to see the best version of Adesanya.
Yeah, but I think motivation is the key word. He is super motivated to put on a performance against Dricus du Plessis, and I don't think that was there for the Strickland fight. He was tired. He was doing it because he had to keep the show going on. He was headlining. Dricus couldn't do it. And he just felt that pressure to perform, but he wasn't excited about the fight. And I wonder if that motivation is going to be there if he ever gets someone like Strickland again, where people are just kind of counting the fighter out, even though they're capable of beating him. I wonder if that's going to be something that he leans on, because sometimes that's a thing, right? Like sometimes it's really hard to show up and fight someone who you're not excited about fighting for whatever reason. And then fight day comes and they are beating your ass. You know, you're just like, well, damn.
No, everybody needs a why.
Mm-hmm.
And some people may lose it and find it again. Some people may need a break. There has to be a reset once you kind of lose sight of your why. And you can reinvent yourself. You can have a new why. You can have a new reason, you know, to fight or to be motivated. But I do agree that there are some things that motivate people to fight, and then there are some times where that motivation just isn't there at the time when it's needed.
Yeah. And can we just talk about that fight real quick? That homeboy put on Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Brundage is a known offender of the what happened? Do you think he was acting, or do you think he was actually like messed up?
So I think he was actually messed up.
Okay.
Now, do I think that it was from just like that specific elbow in question? No. However, I do think he was fucked up. And I've got to say, like, yes, this mohawk is the back of the head, but like the whole thing is the back of the head.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, even though like legally you can hit somebody in the side of the head, just as long as you don't hit this little mohawk thing, doesn't mean it's not damaging. It doesn't mean it's not discombobulating. I think it's very dangerous to get hit anywhere in the back of the head. And I do think he was messed up.
Yeah, he was probably messed up, but he had another he had a win, and I'm trying to figure out who it was. Oh, it was Jacob Malkoon. He was losing this fight. He was getting messed up, and then Malkoon threw a big elbow to the back of his head, and they stopped the fight. And that one was a little more egregious. Like the entire back or the entire forearm landed straight across that mohawk area that you're not supposed to hit. But in this fight, it was more of like, okay, getting the side of the head, he moves his head another way, gets the side of the head, and then finally one lands on that spot, but it wasn't as devastating as the other ones that were landing. The ones you're talking about that were landing on the side of the head and everything. And I felt like when they stopped it and he knew, oh, last time I won from this, he was milking it a little bit.
Well, I mean, I can't speak to his headspace or where he was at or anything like that. I just saw a fighter who sustained damage to the back of the head, and I don't know if he was milking it or not. I hope that he wasn't.
What are the odds of it happening twice though, within a couple years?
Yeah,
that's.
Well, I mean, if you fight enough, like things happen. I just yeah. If you fight enough, things happen.
You get the same foul on you and twice.
I mean, well, he has a very specific fighting style. He goes for the takedowns and he puts himself in those positions.
In rear naked choke position,
where people want to elbow him in the head.
He just has good choke defense, so he ends up getting punched in the head when they're trying to choke him. Just give up the choke, homie. Like, why you gotta show the back of your head so much? And I feel like a lot of fighters do that, where they're hiding the front of their head and then the back of their head is exposed. And whether they're doing it on purpose or not, they're making it easier to get fouled by almost blocking with the part that you're not supposed to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. That one was a little suspicious to me, and I was happy that he didn't win this time. I think with the other fight, it was such a obvious foul. Like, he reared up and the guy had his head down and he just went, I don't fucking care, and hit him in that back of the head that they felt like they needed to make a point.
Yeah.
But in this fight, it was obvious that the guy was trying to work around the back of his head, and when it got tapped, he did his thing. He was messed up. I think he was messed up from the previous damage. It was a lot like that strawweight fight that happened. It was La Piera versus what's her name? The girl I fought with the traps.
The Brazilian
Trapezosaurus.
Girl. Oh,
Trapezosaurus
wasn't
Rex.
that a headbutt?
That was a headbutt, but it was a fight where she was losing. The momentum was on the other girl's side. She got dropped, and then luckily she got headbutted within the entire commotion. They had to stop for a second, but it was like Piera was on her way to getting a finish, and for whatever reason headbutted her. The headbutt wasn't nearly as damaging as all the other damage she took. Like, it was kind of like a little... But
it was twice, wasn't it?
It was a little boop. It was twice, but it was a little boop. I don't know what she was trying to do. Like, was she trying...
The only thing I can think is maybe she was trying to, like, shoulder or, like... I don't know, but I just remember being very confused.
It was like, weird. I was so mad because that was my fight card, and I'm waiting to pee in a cup for the not USADA people, the other people, and
USADA.
the new sodas, and no one was there to watch me pee in the cup because they were all cage side waiting for homegirl to finish. Oh, where am I? What's going on? Who am I? So it was similar to that, where you feel like the actual foul wasn't that bad, but the damage that happened before it was the reason why they were just like, I'm gonna stay down.
Yeah.
I'll just stay down. So I felt bad about that. And I thought it was really funny because Al Hassan, he wasn't being put in his neutral corner.
He belonged in a neutral corner.
What
and he
were
was
they doing?
He was literally standing over the situation. Like, he might as well have put his elbow up on homeboy's shoulder while he's checking his vision, his pupils. I'm like, somebody get this guy in a neutral corner.
Do you see me?
So where's the ref? Who is in charge here? Yeah, it was kind of wild to me that he just was able to insert himself in what was happening when he belongs in a neutral corner.
That was so weird. It almost made me feel like, oh, I guess they've decided this fight is over.
Like, this fight is not happening anymore. It's done. It's
Can
just
you
a free
imagine?
for all.
And why would you start fighting again if your opponent that just elbowed you in the back of the head is hovering over you, waiting to punch you in the face again? Yeah. No, you know what? I'm done. This is not a fight I want anymore. I'm good. I'm going to take my show money and bounce. So,
yeah, it's unfortunate that the fight ended that way. Maybe they'll rebook it. Maybe they'll, get new opponents. Who knows? But it is really unfortunate. And, I saw the emotion in both men in the cage. And, I hope... Honestly, I hope, and, I hold him high in the sense that, he wasn't milking it. He was actually really, really hurt and couldn't continue.
Yeah, it is a shame when something like that happens, because the obvious thing that people are going to jump to is, bro, you did that once already. Like, imagine if Aljo gets kneed in the face again.
He can never live that down.
He's just gonna have to keep fighting.
Yeah. Whether he can continue or not, you can't do it twice, right?
But that knee was really bad. Like, that was not what Brundage took.
No.
That knee was head being held, boosh, almost like a soccer kick with the knee to the face. Like, that was really bad. That was an execution style knee. You might as well have chopped his head off. That was really bad.
No, it was
I
awful.
always felt bad for Aljo, the fact that people gave him shit for not continuing, because it's like, did you see what happened?
And it's crazy because it's become a term.
Yeah.
They Aljo'd it. Yeah.
I think I coined it. No.
Of course you did.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Look what you did.
I thought everyone
That's why
knew.
he won't come on the show.
Ah, damn it. Aljo, I'm sorry. It wasn't me. It was Piotr Jan, I swear. Yeah, but it is really tough to be a fighter and to be in that position and to not milk it or take the blow and keep going. Like, it really is one of those weird crossroads where you're probably not in the right mindset to even make a decision. Mm-hmm. You're just hoping that the doctor gives you an out. But yeah, that's a weird one. But yeah, anyone who isn't giving Brundage shit should not give Aljo shit. Because it wasn't that bad.
Leave him all alone. Unless you know what it's like to receive blows to the back of the head or illegal, like, knee to the face on a down opponent. Like, unless you know what that feels like, then
keep it shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a wild one, but yeah, those were the fights. Yeah. Very exciting.
It was a very short card. Or
it
a
was,
very
right?
Yeah.
I was at the bar the whole time.
Yeah, I came in a little bit later.
That's why I only remember some of the fights.
Andrew's browned out.
I know I was there.
She just wasn't all there.
I remember some of the conversations I had.
You were a good time. You're always a good time.
Okay, good. That's all that matters.
Yeah, she just starts getting a little sleepy towards the.
Oh my God! Yeah,
towards the end of it.
I had to rewatch the Rose fight. I was like, oh, this was good.
No, it was great. I had to rewatch the ones that I was driving to see you.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to
Cool.
rewatch those ones.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been another Two Straws.
See you next time.
Bye.